tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Taylor Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Taylor makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Taylor is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLAANDRE@thumbprintrealty.com.
Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information.
Yes, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Check, check, check. Can y'all hear me? Are we good? Are we on? Yes, appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody tuned in. I appreciate everyone from the bottom of my heart. You know why? Because y'all been tuning in with me for this whole thing, and I really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I was almost like trying to give up, but not really give up. Make sure I can hear y'all. It's been a tough 2 months. You know, I ain't gonna lie. Here we go. I'll make sure I can hear myself. Here we go. It's been a tough 2 months. It's about to be August, and I got out in May, so it's been tough. Definitely wanted to come in and give y'all an update. Really, really close to being like, F this, fuck it, I don't want to deal with this anymore. That's how I've been feeling, because I still haven't, you know what I'm saying, I still don't have an attorney, still don't have a lawyer and stuff like that. But so it's been like just frustrating. It's been really frustrating. Shout out to Spark FM. Shout out to my whole circle. Shout out to Frenchie, Hobby, Liz, Norvia, my nice little circle that I got that's been behind me 1,000%. I appreciate everybody, especially Spark FM. A lot of folks have been watching the YouTube part 1, 2, 3, and really, you know, helping me in a way, because at first, like I said again, I haven't been getting that much response. Like, I've been getting responses, but like not too much, not like how I thought I was gonna get. And I know things take time, so I understand that patience, you know, you should have patience for certain things. And me, it's tough because I really don't have no patience. But dealing with this situation, I really don't have no choice but to have patience. So for those who don't know, if you're just tuning in and didn't get a chance to check out part 1, 2, 3, I have been talking about how I was wrongfully accused and incarcerated in Jones County, Georgia. And me not be able to have an attorney, and I paid for an attorney, a public defender. That's been tough, because I've been realizing they already got about a good $1,600 out of me once I got out. Once I was in, with all of the money that I spent on commissary and the people spent on hygiene packs and noodle packs and just little stuff to keep me afloat, I spent way over like almost $7,000. All right, with the bail, with everything going on, it's like, it's tough, because it's like I'm still trying to get up on my feet. I've still been trying to reach out to different resources to help with job placement and housing and all that great stuff. So it's really frustrating. Some folks still really are just getting wind of the story. And it usually happens when I'm like, around everybody and everybody's smoking and I'm like not smoking and they're like I'm not smoking and I'm like, yeah, it's tough. It's really messing with my mental, man. It's really tough because I am used to smoking for my own, my own mental, my anxiety and stuff like that. Now, I was able to go to the doctors. They're saying that I have PTSD and all this other stuff. I have a medical marijuana card. So I've been trying to do everything to cover myself. And what's been happening is I went from taking a drug test. It's supposed to be twice a month, but now I'm taking it almost every other day. I have the receipts of me taking it every other day. So even though the probation officer that I have seemed like she was trying to look out for me and trying to give me a heads up on things, it's the government, it's probation. They literally can do whatever they want to do. They can make their own rules. They can do whatever they want to do, set it how they want it. And that's what's frustrating, because when I'm asking them questions on like how I should handle situations, or if I'm asking them questions about my probation, nobody can answer the question. Nobody knows. My probation officer don't know. She's like, you got to contact people in Georgia. I'm calling people in Georgia. They're like, we're not allowed to speak to you about certain things, and your probation officer or your courthouse should reach out to us. So then when I go back to the courthouse, pretty much playing tag back and forth, my probation officer in Dorchester Court is like, oh, well, they should be able to tell us this, then that. Then my probation officer was like that the dude in Georgia pretty much was like, to leave it alone. They can't ask any questions by law, federally. There's nothing that they can do about the situation. Now, this is why I think it's a setup. I feel like, you hear those people on YouTube and TikTok and the videos that you probably watch when they're like, the government is a scam and the government just really want to see African Americans and people of color kind of like set themselves up, or always want to be behind bars. You either want to be dead or behind bars. That's really true. That's like 98% true, for real. Because I feel like this is like, if you know that I'm a heavy smoker and you're arresting me for marijuana, and there's no way me being in there that long would have cleansed my system out completely, right? Then when I get out and I don't know my probation stipulations and I'm smoking, then you tell me my probation stipulation is like, oh, you gotta have to take a drug test. I automatically knew I was gonna fail. There's not enough time for me to clean my system because y'all done stuck me on probation and telling me that, you know what I'm saying, if I come up positive, that I have to, that means I violated my probation and I gotta go do 5 years. Like, what? So in my head, I'm like, bro, I feel like this is a setup. Like, y'all want to see me fail. You want to see me back behind bars. When you actually have people that are trying to be an upstanding citizen or whatever, just trying to be good and do things for the community, or just not a bad person. Like, I really got to be a drug dealer or on drugs to actually, one, get help, and B, stay out of jail, which is ridiculous, because it's like, I did everything I could possibly to stay on the right path, DJing, staying out of trouble. And then it's like trouble still, you know what I'm saying, is there for no reason, especially if I feel like, I'm wrongfully accused of something. So I'm saying that because it's like, when I feel like I'm being set up, it's like, y'all knew that when I take my drug test that it was going to come back positive. You knew that, because if you're pulling me over for that substance, why would you think that substance is clear out my system? Because it's not. And a lot of people, if y'all don't smoke, it really takes about 30, 60 days to get weed out of your system. Now, there is stuff and drinks and dietary supplements and stuff like that you can do to try to cleanse your system. Everybody knows, drink cranberry juice, drink water, drink vinegar, apple cider vinegar with mama in it. And I did all of that. So now I'm struggling with the fear of not knowing what's about to happen next, not knowing what's the next step, because neither one of the probation officers from Georgia or Boston know how to handle the situation. They don't have any answers for me. They don't know what to do because they never had someone in this situation. So I know I'm not the only one in the world that's been through this. Of course not. But in Dorchester court, they literally was like, we've never dealt with anything like this. We really don't get a lot of out-of-state cases. We just don't deal with this type of stuff, so we don't know how to handle it. And that's frustrating. It's frustrating. I'm too old to be doing all of this. So, like I said again, if you're just tuning in and you don't know, I did get pulled over in Georgia. And they did arrest me with no evidence, no proof of me speeding and all this extra stuff, and they locked me in a federal facility, which they wasn't supposed to do that at all. Then being mistreated horribly, getting denied food, getting denied phone calls, just a lot of stuff, not getting the proper care, not getting the proper items to even try to survive in there on my own. So, and I got a lot of help. Once again, shout out to my crew in there. Shout out to Kiki. Shout out to Moo. Shout out to Seven. By the way, Seven ended up getting transferred out after her birthday. So I've been talking to her. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to the whole nine. And we already know I talked about the snitches in there, talked about a lot of things going in there, tussling. I got a scar and all kinds of crazy stuff in there. Dealing with the officers threatening mace us for no reason, trying to tell us that we need to go to bed at a certain time, and all this crazy stuff that I've been through. Like I said again, I got stories for days of all of the stuff that happened in there, from Tasha trying to get in the shower with me, and Tasha trying to fight me, talk about we stole her socks. Well, my socks got stolen. But as soon as Tasha's socks get stolen, now she won't fight. So I talked about all of that, and I try to add a little bit of humor to it, but I know when I see people, when they have watched the YouTube or are what, like, shout out to everybody watching now, been watching the lives, and everybody's been like asking me, hey Live, how you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But it's like, it's kind of hard, pulling through every single day, trying to put on a smile, trying to keep pushing forward, trying to overcome this, trying to find different outlets, just trying to find different things. I don't mind, I would like to start doing keynote speaking and public speaking about the situation, and I don't mind being in large crowds and talking about it. It's to a point where I've been trying to put my pride aside a lot now, a little more than usual. So yesterday I went to the NAACP convention, the hub, and it was crazy. So I went because I knew Meek Mills was gonna be there on Sunday. So Friday they had Jazzy Jeff, so I was able to do that. As y'all seen, I took a picture, got to be on stage, learn some things, chop it up. Saturday I didn't go because I was booked all day, crazy busy in the rain. And then Sunday, when I heard Meek Mills was gonna be there, the first thing that popped in my mind was like, okay, well, we about to go talk. I need the legal part. I don't really want to see Meek Mills. I need the legal part, okay? So I definitely went in there with that mindset. Now, I told you I went there Friday, right? Friday, the way, if you've never been to the convention before, there's like different, sections and different halls upstairs, and then you have the convention part downstairs. So I go there and I'm immediately looking around. My eyes is open. I'm like, okay, I need legal. I need to find the word legal, lawyer, attorney, public defender, citizen, civil rights, something. That's what I need, because we're at the NAACP and it's supposed to be all about us, people of color, and black businesses and the whole culture of it all, right? So I go there, I go talk to Hassas, Tony, and they're like, hey, when we came in, we seen one of the corridors that said legal. So I'm like, all right, point me in the direction, because that's what I'm focused on as soon as I get there. So I go up the stairs and I find they had different rooms about camera, cinema, legal stuff. When I seen legal, I go right in there. I was there around 2-3 o'clock, getting close to 3 o'clock, because I did have a brunch. And unfortunately, when I got there and I go to the legal place after I try to find it, I went into the room and I'm asking the lady, like, is this for like legal advice or legal support, or, I see the word legal. And she's like, yeah, but unfortunately, we're now closed to the public. You can try to come tomorrow, but we do help out with criminal and stuff like that. So I'm like, a little disappointed. I started getting a little discouraged. I'm like, oh man, like, dang, I came all this way. I try to hurry up and get here so that way, I can try to get some type of answers and clarity, or just to talk to someone in general to tell my story again. So she was like, yeah, unfortunately, we're closed to the public, but she hits me with, but you can Google where did it happen? Did it happen here? And I said, no, it happened in Georgia. So she told me to Google Georgia, the NAACP Georgia State Conference is what she told me to Google. And in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. Still no problem doing the footwork. I have no problem doing it. So I'm like, okay, bet. All right, take the information. Now, as I walk away, y'all, I'm starting to walk away, and I see this man. He got his AirPods in. He's on the phone, but on his shirt it said Atlanta NAACP. I don't know what, but for what reason, I'm like, hey, hi, how you doing? Stop him dead in his tracks, even though I knew that he was on the phone, which was kind of rude. I did apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not to interrupt or anything, but he's like, yeah, hi, how are you? And I'm like, do you maybe kind of sort of know anything about any type of legal stuff in Atlanta or in Georgia? He's like, yeah, I do actually. And I'm like, wow. I got blown away automatically because I'm like, oh shoot, okay, now what do I say? I'm like, all like tongue-tied. I'm like, all right, well, I honestly need some help. I'm going through some legal stuff that I'm having a hard time getting help with a lawyer, an attorney. I'm trying to give him a quick little rundown because, like I said, again, I knew he was on the phone. And I'm like, I tried to talk to the woman over here, but it's close to the public now, and I'm unfortunately not able to come back the next day to the hub. And I'm like, she told me to Google the NAACP Georgia State Conference. Do you have any information about that? Are you aware about that? Do you know anything about that? You know what this man said? This man looked me dead in my face and goes, oh, yeah, I know all about that. I'm actually the president. I said, the president? He's like, yeah, I'm the president of the NAACP Georgia State Conference. I said, whoa, okay. I need some help, please. Like, I didn't even know what to say. I didn't even want to sound ignorant or too, like, unprofessional or anything. I was dressed, better than I did on Friday because I just had on some regular clothes. But I came prepared this time, so I was hoping that I looked presentable enough. And he's like, yeah, I'm the president. And I was like, I'm giving him as brief as I could. Like, I was unlawfully incarcerated and messed with while I was in Jones County Jail and treated horribly, and I don't have a public defender and I don't have a lawyer, and I'm trying to fight this case and they're trying to give me 5-6 years. He said, wow. He's like, so are you like on pro bono? Like, what happened? You took a plea? I said, yes. I honestly unfortunately didn't even know, but I had to plead guilty to come home. He said, what? I said, yeah, like they forged my signature. It was a Zoom court case and they tried to take it to Superior Court. I'm in federal jail. He's like, what jail? I said I was in Jones County federal jail. And he's like, get out of here. And I'm like, yeah. Still trying to give him a brief. I'm like, yeah, I just really need some help. I've been trying to tell my story about how I just need somebody to look at this so that way, and I said, I honestly feel like, but I honestly know that I was arrested because I'm black and I'm part of the LGBT community. And he was like, oh yeah, give me a call. I said, that's it. He gave me his number. His name is Gerald Griggs, and he is the president of the NAACP Georgia State Conference. Okay, and that had to be nothing but God. It to me. It blew my whole head. Like, what? I'm talking to the president of this place, this organization that this woman just told me that I should Google and try to get the phone number to get in touch with somebody, and I actually run into the president, I stopped the president in his conversation and asked for some help, and he gave me his personal number of his office to call, and I sure did call this morning. Now the only thing I have to wait, and he's still here in Boston, still at the NAACP, because it's gonna be here until Tuesday, and she told me to call him on the 3rd, which is Thursday. And I'm like, again, what a coincidence, because Thursday I go meet with my probation officer and have to talk to her and ask her questions. It's my, instead of having weekly visits, because the last time I told you guys I go to Dorchester Courthouse weekly, now I got it once a month. And I chose the beginning of the month, so one, I don't forget, and B, I can get a lot of my questions that I have. I can build up my questions. I can write a lot of stuff down and then present it to her all at one time instead of doing it weekly. So that was some good news for me. So I kind of can't wait till Thursday to talk to my probation officer and to talk to Mr. Griggs, who is the president of that, that can really hopefully open some doors and give me a few answers, since it's about to be 3 months now. So that's been some good news with that. Also, I would like to, ask my probation officer again, because I did present them my medical marijuana card. And I've been trying to do everything else. I've been taking the test. Like I said, again, the drug and alcohol test was supposed to be twice a month. That's what she told me. Now I literally take it every other day. I wake up, I call at 6 in the morning, and if it's not every day, it's literally every other day that I'm going in there to use the bathroom. Now that I'm going all the time, it's to a point where I'm like, all right, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow or the next day. Like, that's how many times I've been in there. But the issue with that is the woman that has been collecting my urine sample, I believe, has gotten a little bit comfortable. So I'm letting y'all know now. I've been afraid to say it because the paranoia in my head is like taking over, and my anxiety has just been shot up at the roof because I'm so paranoid. It's like I don't even want to tell things that I should be telling, not only here on this platform, but just to people in general. So this is my first time telling y'all, and hopefully it helps. The only reason why I was afraid to say anything is because my trust issue level has gone down tremendously. So it's like I don't trust anybody. I'm always looking over my shoulder. Just the paranoia has been really out of control, especially since I've been sober and not smoking. So my head and my mind is on overload. My thoughts is on overload. It's driving me crazy. Mentally, it's not good. But basically, not too long ago, I went to go take the urine sample test, and what it is you have to, I'm being watched, so you have to pull your pants down below your knees. There's a mirror behind you. There's a freaking light. The ring light is next to you, and the woman stands in front of you, and you have to start to urine a little bit before she gives you the cup. So on this particular day, she decided to compliment me about my underwear, and I felt offended. Like, I didn't know what to do or how to take it. It took me a long time to even use the bathroom, because now I'm like, what? Why are you complimenting me on my underwear? I felt very uncomfortable. The only reason why I didn't say anything is because I didn't want anything to happen to, like, my urine sample that's going to get me in trouble. One of the urine samples came out different from the other ones. So now I have to talk to my probation officer to see what happens. Like, am I supposed to file a report on this woman? I did not want to say anything to stir up anything to maybe something happen to my urine sample that would get me in trouble. That's why I didn't say anything. So what happened for me to say this now is I have a block party coming up for Brookview Apartments. You guys are welcome to come. It's off Blue Hill Ave. And I've had this gig already booked for a while now. They reached out to me a couple of months ago. You know, I've been getting the deposit. We've been communicating through email, this woman and I, who hired me to DJ the block party. So today, just so happened that she calls me on my phone, and this is the first time that we're talking on the phone, interacting. She's like, sorry I didn't hit you up, you know, been pretty busy. And, you know, we're talking about the gig, and I'm asking her about tables, like how the outlet, like how it's gonna, just how the whole block party is gonna be, whatever. We're talking business. Then she says, do you have any other questions? And once again, y'all, trying to put my pride aside and trying to reach out to get help, I go, yes, I actually do have a question. Does your apartments, are you taking any openings or whatever? Because, you know, I need some help with some of the housing. She's like, unfortunately, we don't, but I do have the resources to do that. And I'm like, okay. So she's asking me a couple of questions. She's like, we can do an intake and do all of that, and I can help you, maybe give you some resources and stuff like that. So once again, I'm like, let me ask you another question. I start telling her a little bit about my situation. Lord and behold, this woman just was working for 5 years, working in a halfway house for women who were incarcerated and just got out. And I'm like, what are the odds again of me finally letting my guard down and having a conversation with someone, not knowing who they are? That's what it was. It's like, you never know who you're going to run into. You never know who's watching you. You never know who you're going to be talking to. So I've been keeping that in my head as much as I can. And that's basically what happened. So I'm telling her a little bit about what's going on. And we ended up on the phone for about an hour and a half. And she's telling me, one, to report the woman. She knew exactly where it was. She knew the people. She's like, yeah, you need to file a report. You need to say something. And I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm telling her I'm feeling paranoid. I'm telling her the situation that's going on. And then I tell her a little bit about the case. And she was like, oh, yeah, every Tuesday we have a meeting with women who've been incarcerated and trying to get on their feet, or women have been falsely accused of things and been incarcerated unlawfully. And we have resources, and we have a network where we're trying to reach out with different branches to help these women. And I said, well, can you put me in that circle? Because I'm one of those women. Like, I need the help. And she's like, really? We're on the phone and we're having a whole conversation, and she's giving me these resources and talking about these different outlets. And then we ended up doing an intake, and she's like, I'll call you in the morning. So that way, I have someone that can, you know, give you a call of these resources that we have. Then she gives me a number to call for some legal aid people. And I did not even know, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you have an issue, don't be afraid to speak on it. That's what I've learned in the past few weeks. Even though I felt like giving up, and I'm like, this is a waste of time. I'm over here trying to tell people my story, trying to get some help. I literally was just about to be like, fuck this. I'm giving up. I'm over it. I ain't gonna get no help. I'm just about to be on probation for 5 years and take piss tests for the rest of my life. Like, that's how I was feeling. I was over it. I'm like, the only thing that's making me feel happy is when I'm DJing. When I'm DJing, none of this stuff is bothering me right now. I'm buried into the music. I'm focused on my music. I'm entertaining. I'm doing that. And then as soon as I'm done, it's like, boom, I got to get right back to reality. So I'm telling her all this, and she's really trying to help. And I'm like, in my head, it's like, it's sad. It's sad, but it's been good for me. It's been helping me out. The people that you barely know, the people that you've known in the least time, are the ones that are really helping out and looking out for you. And that's mind-boggling to me, because I know a lot of people, and I've known people for years. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, shout out to Quante James. We went to school together. She's definitely been trying to help me out. She's been reaching out to people, telling her story. She knows a lot of people in church and stuff like that. So she's been reaching out to people, trying to get resources for me. And I really, really appreciate that, because in my head, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of friends and associates that I've had that I haven't talked to in a while, that, you know what I'm saying, that, or don't communicate with them on a daily basis or all the time like I should have, or just in general. And those are the people that's been listening to my story and really trying to reach out to get some help for me. And I feel like that is so dope. I'm really grateful. I'm thankful. And I really appreciate, all of everything that people have been trying to tell me, them reaching out to other people that they may know. Shout out to Miss Mofilla. I just gave her the YouTube thing, like, yeah, can take a look. If you know somebody, you never know who you may know. And I'm literally just trying to let my guard down a little bit to try to get some help. So those are the two good things that that's happened to me literally today and yesterday. So it kind of made me feel a little bit better not to give up. That's why I haven't been in here doing the story time. I know a lot of y'all like the story time. But like I said again, I didn't do it because I felt like this is a waste of time. So that made me be like, let me come in here and tell the people what's been going on and give them a little bit of the update about what's been going on with the case. So that is definitely what's been going on. So it's good news for me. I got my fingers crossed and praying and hoping that, you know what I'm saying, it comes out in a real good way and I can get the help that I need. I have plans to have a conversation with my probation officer to see what's going on, because I was told that I would have to go before the judge pretty soon. They don't have a date for me, just to have a conversation with the judge, because they feel like I violated my probation, which I honestly don't feel like I violated my probation if I have not smoked. I haven't smoked. That's what's messing up my whole mind. Like, my anxiety is through the roof. Like, is just not a good place to be for me, because I'm overthinking and I'm just not been drinking more. You know what I'm saying? It's like, y'all know I've been trying to cut down on the drinking before this happened. So with me drinking more, it's like, man, that's not the vice that I'm trying to pick back up. I'm not trying to pick up any bad habits. I've been smoking vapes and I'm like, this is not me. This is not what I do. So I do have a doctor's appointment coming up again. They do have another behavioral health person wanting to talk to me. So I do have to do that as well. And do, I think, another therapy session and stuff, just to do an update to see, where I'm at mentally, just to make sure that I'm okay. Mental health is real, y'all. Like, don't disregard people that are reaching out to you because they're not there mentally. You know what I'm saying? And if you know somebody that you've known for a long time and they seem a little bit off, bro, check in with them. That's the one thing a lot of people don't do. They forget to check in with people. Checking in with people is important, because you never know what somebody's going through. You never know somebody's mindset at that time. And a lot of people are so used to just doing their own thing, living their own life. And yeah, that you're supposed to live your own life and do your own thing. Some people are dealing with their own issues. But everybody, every human being is human, and your feelings are valid. You know what I'm saying? My stepmom tell me that all the time. Your feelings are valid. Don't let nobody say your feelings aren't valid. And if you feel some way, you should be able to express it to that person, or express it in general if you feel some type of way. Because if you hold it in and keep it in and you know what I'm saying, try to bury it, that catches up to you. And it messes up with you mentally. There is like 95% of Black African American men are going through mental health issues, and they have a different vice: drink, smoke, they cheat, they do whatever they want to do, because they try to mask that feeling. They try to bury that feeling. Like, nobody checks on men. A lot of women may check on women, but a lot of people don't check on the men. So I'm telling everybody, just check on your friends. Check on people. You never know what they're going through. And a lot of people do things, crazy things, sad things, or nothing at all to mask that feeling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, definitely check on your feelings. Definitely check on your loved ones. I appreciate Ashley. Enough said. She definitely checked in on me, and I appreciate that. Your words was very, very, you know what I'm saying, sentimental to me, and that meant a lot, because sometimes people just be like, oh, nobody cares, or nobody's listening, or everybody's doing their own thing. So that it be that one text message, hey, I'm checking in on you, or that one phone call, or that one face-to-face visit, and that hug may change somebody's whole day. You never know. Stop dismissing people's feelings, and stop dismissing the fact that everyone is allowed to have, stuff going on through their mind. As mental health is especially after COVID, it really, you know what I'm saying, took a toll on a lot of people. So I just come to realize that as a whole, because now it's like I'm going through my own things, and sometimes I wish the people that do rock with Djlive check in a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? But I understand you don't have to. People have their own lives and stuff to deal with. So it's not something that, it's like, you don't want to check in on me? Then I'm not talking to you. Like, that's not how I'm taking it at all. But I'm very appreciative and really, really am thankful for the people who do check in, once in a blue moon. So that is what that is. It was really good news for that to happen for the two people, So it's like maybe I will have some few doors opening, hopefully, and get some answers that I need, because basically and everyone says the same thing. That's crazy. That sounds bizarre. That's not right. That sounds very illegal. And I'm like, yeah. So now it's like when people are asking me questions, I have no problem. I'm gonna tell you as much as I can, because I do need the help. I've been writing down a lot of stuff, especially there's LGBT communities and affiliates that deal with the legal part just for the LGBT community. Then you have folks just in the African American that deal with that, of people of color, and trying to help us out as a whole. So I'm just trying to be more open, and keep my eyes open, and definitely not afraid to speak about what's going on. Shout out to Chris from the ADSL program. He's definitely been helping me out as well, and Miss J. Make sure y'all tune into their show on Sunday on Spark FM. I really appreciate him as well. Been helping me with a little bit of work there, and definitely trying to reach out to people too. So I really want to continue to thank people who definitely have been as much as they can to, say, hey, Live, I know this person. Let me ask this person, or let me check in with this person. A lot of people are telling me to try to contact more people in Georgia. Everybody in Boston, they're afraid. I got lawyers and attorneys, public defenders, civil rights folks that are in the state of Massachusetts and is afraid. They're afraid to talk about my case. They're afraid to touch my case. They really don't want to kind of deal with it, because they're like, it's out of our jurisdiction. There's nothing that we can do. And I respect that. My thing right now, I just need someone to look at all my paperwork and my notes and just listen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's all I need right now. And I've been telling my story so much. It's like, man, this sounds too good to be. This doesn't sound right. It sounds crazy. It sounds illegal. It sounds messed up. As soon as I start opening my mouth and telling people a little bit about it, just a brief, quick synopsis of it, everyone's like, no, that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm like, yeah, that's the problem, because it doesn't make any sense. I'm learning new things. Like I said again, I am learning that I should have asked. You have the right to ask. If an officer says that you speeding or you went over the speed limit, do you know you have the right to ask to see it? You can see it. You can ask them, can I see your, odometer reader? I forgot what it's called. I hope I didn't just make that word up. You can ask them to see. Can I see what you clocked me in as? Can I see? You can ask to see. And if they deny it, you have a better case and you're probably not going to get the ticket. They might be like, no, you can go on ahead. Have a nice day. This is just a warning, because they're afraid when us as a citizen, as Americans, like as people, these people of the law that are supposed to be saving our lives and protecting us, a lot of them are afraid when you know the law, when you know your rights, when you know what is right and wrong from them to do. Once you know that and you hit them with it, they leave you alone, because they're so used to dealing with ignorance and used to dealing with people who don't know and just gonna take the ticket, or just gonna take the verbal abuse, or they want to draw their gun out on you, whatever. They're used to that. So it's like they feel like because they are officers of the law that they have a seniority or a different type of authority of people in general, to talk to them any type of way, to look at them any type of way. So it's like, once you know what you can say, what you can ask, once you know your rights and know the law, man, I realize you win. You're the winner. You're the one that's you're the smart one, and they're the dumb ones. At the end of the day, they think that we're the ones that don't know any better and we're the dumb ones. But once you hit them with, no, this is not right and this is unlawful, oh yeah, then the whole voice, everything changes, and they will probably really let you go. So the next thing that I have to do is the proof of residency. I do proof of income, and I do the participation in treatment program for drug and alcohol. And I've been trying to do my best. Like I said again, been trying to do everything that they're telling me that I should do, trying to make sure that I stay on my P's and Q's and do everything right. Hopefully what I've heard and read is after a year that I'm able to bring it back to court and ask the judge to kind of change my probation stipulations and see if I can get anything acquitted for having in good standings. Now, I don't know if that's going to get me off of probation altogether completely, but I know that if I have good standings and I keep continuing to do the right thing, that I maybe can be able to fight it, represent it myself. The worst part is when I'm talking to people, they're like, even my probation officer, she keeps saying, oh, you need to talk to your lawyer, or you need to ask your lawyer, or you need to ask your public defender. And I'm like, woman, I told you, I don't have none of those things. So you're the person that I'm supposed to be talking to, because I don't have none of these things. Like I asked her the other day, am I supposed to appear in court? Like, do I have a court date? She's like, I don't know, because you pleaded guilty. So what would be the point of the court date? I said, no, it's the point that you said, I don't know first. It's the fact that you said, I don't know first. So that's what makes me uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable situation when the Georgia probation officer is telling me that I need to ask my official probation officer in the court that I'm assigned to these questions. And I'm like, well, they don't have the answers because they're telling me it's up to Georgia. And then Georgia's like, oh, well, it's not really up to us. It's up to your probation officer and where you take it. And I'm like, what's up with the ping pong? Why are we going back and forth with this? That's all I want to know. Why are we going back and forth? Why are we going back and forth? Like, you guys don't know any of this? Huh? Listen, I done already went and got a new set of AirPods. I don't want to be dealing with the old AirPods anymore, even though it slipped my mind. I should have took a picture of it, of the AirPods, just to show an attorney or probation officer that it did have my name engraved in it when it was returned back to me. The whole part of me feeling like when I was let go, when I had the $8,000 bail and they let me go, I felt completely set up for me to get arrested again and to supposedly having a warrant for my arrest after I was released like 30 minutes ago. Having that paranoia, like bro, did these people actually set me up when I got out? They set me up, saying that I stole my own property and then rearrested me. That's why I'm even more paranoid, because I'm like, you guys really had the ability to set me up, saying that I stole my own stuff, and then lie and say that I had a arrest warrant. And it's like, dang, what else can y'all do? They can do a lot, because it's the government. It's federal. It's crazy. So even the other day, man, my whole head was like, oh man, if something happens to me, it's the feds that did it. So let me go do this YouTube. Let me go do this radio show and try to tell people what's going on and stay updated. So that way, if anything happens, maybe I'll get some justice after I'm gone. I don't know. I don't want to speak that type of, stuff in the air. But right now it's like, I read through my stuff, and there's a part in here where when I went to the court, right, for the Zoom, they asked me, after the public defender pretty much forged my signature and did everything, they asked me, did I wanted to take the first offender or conditional discharge. That's first offender or conditional discharge, right? Now, let me explain to y'all. If you pick the first offender, that means you're not taking the plea of guilty or non-guilty, right? It says, the defendant consenting hereto, it is the judgment of the court that no judgment of guilt be imposed at this time, but that further proceedings are deferred, and the defendant is hereby sentenced to confinement at such institution as the Commissioner of the State Department of Corrections or the court may direct, with the period of confinement to be computed as provided by law. Upon violation of the terms of probation, upon conviction for another crime during the period of probation, or upon the court's determination that the defendant is or was not eligible for sentencing under the First Offender Act or for conditional discharge, the court may enter an adjudication of guilt and proceed to sentence the defendant to the maximum sentence as provided by law. Upon fulfillment of the terms of this sentence or upon release of the defendant by the court prior to the termination of this sentence, the defendant shall stand discharged or said offense without court of guilt and shall be completely exonerated of guilt of said offense charge. Now, I just read this and had to look it up on my own, that when they went in front of the goddamn judge, right, and the on the Zoom call, that I could have took the first offender and did not take the conditional discharge. If I would have took the first offender, I wouldn't have had the felony charge. But if I also take the first offender, that means while I'm while I'm out, if I get in trouble by the law again, I won't have a first offender, and I will automatically have to plead guilty or do the maximum time that they ask me to do. Now, for me, if you kind of understand what it is, I kind of understood after, like a few days ago, I was today years old finding this out, that if I would have took the first offender, I wouldn't have had no felony charge and I wouldn't have had a probation at all. If I would have took first offender, because it was my first offense, felony wise, right? I wouldn't have been on probation at all. But because the public defender never spoke to me about this and didn't explain this to me and automatically told me that I did not want to take the first offender, that I took the conditional discharge, which allowed me to be on probation and take this guilty plea. Now that's unlawful because I didn't agree on that because I didn't understand. I didn't know that. It wasn't explained to me. Nobody told me what that is. I don't know if we have a first offender or conditional charge here in Massachusetts, but in the state of Georgia, that's what they have. Now that I'm out and I'm looking at my paperwork and stuff, it made me so upset and emotional. And I'm like, are you serious? So you forged my signature and told me that I should not take the first offender, not even explaining to me what it is, when I wouldn't have had been dealing with this all. You're telling me that I should take the conditional discharge just in case if I get in trouble again. So in my head, I'm like, well, if y'all could set me up and give me theft by taking and say that I stole my own property, if I would have took the first offender, who's to say y'all wouldn't try to pin something else on me again to get me in trouble to do maximum years that you wanted to put on me? So it was like up and up. It's like if I would have known better, I definitely would have took the first offender and not take this probation and just made sure I stayed out of trouble and be home and know that I'm safe and comfortable, you know what I'm saying, and not being in Georgia. But because they made me sign this, well, they didn't make me sign it, they forged my signature to do it. Now I definitely need an attorney. I definitely need a lawyer to even fight this. To fight that you made the decision for me of how I wanted to not only take my plea, but I had an option. I had an option to take the first offender and wouldn't have had probation. And I wouldn't have had a felony charge. But that public defender that tried to represent me in court forged my signature and made me take this, did this conditional discharge on their own. Listen, it says the Honorary Thomas Joseph O'Donnell, attorney at law, represented the defender by, it says, appointment. Employment or appointment. And appointment is marked off here. And I know for a fact I've never seen no public defender. Damn sure didn't see no Thomas O'Donnell. I didn't see this man. So it's like I got something else extra that I found out that I can fight for. I could have took the first offender and not have probation and not have this guilty plea. But they gave me that conditional discharge, which is crazy. Crazy. There's no signature even on here. It says the acknowledgement of I have read the terms of this sentence or had them read and explained to me. If all or any part of this sentence is probated, I certify that I understand the meaning of the order of probation and the conditions of probation. I understand that violation of a special condition of probation could result in revocation of all time remaining on the period of probation, meaning I would have to do whatever years I had left. Years and days that I had left of my probation is the years and days that I have to serve for the time if I violate my probation. Now, it says that I'm supposed to sign right here. But as you guys can see, there's no signature. I didn't sign nothing that says, one, I understand, and two, that a public defender or an attorney even explained this to me. Nobody is signed. A defendant isn't signed, or the community supervision officer is not signed here. And it says, I have served this sentence with all fines, fees, terms, and conditions upon the defendant this day. None of that is here. I also understand that the fines, fees, and or restitution that I discussed with the probation officer are a good faith estimate. If a clerical error or miscalculation appears, the clerk of court will provide me the corrected amount. None of that is signed. So with me paying $1,542.20 is like, there's gotta be a way if I get an attorney or speak to someone that I can get my money back. All the money spent. That's about $8,000 spent. I want it back. And I'm gonna try to do everything I can to get it back. There's no reason for me to have a criminal felony right now at all. There's no reason for me to have a felony charge at all. Felony with probation, and it said that my plea was negotiated, and it wasn't. I didn't sign any of this. I didn't agree to plead guilty for any of these things. All they said was, if you plead guilty, you can go home. So I'm like, what do you mean plead guilty? They're like, well, you can go home today if we do the court. I'm like, Superior Court? They're like, yeah, we'll do it. If you do that, then you can go home. Yeah, of course I want to go home. But I didn't agree to none of this stuff. I didn't sign none of this stuff with the special conditions of probation, criminal action, final disposition, felony sentence with probation. I didn't sign none of this. None of it is signed. It has a signature here of initials. That's not my signature. It's not my initials. So I definitely need an attorney still to even fight the probation stipulations that I have. Because, like I said again, I didn't even know that I had a choice. I didn't understand. Nobody broke it down. So the help that I need is crazy. And I'm really hoping, like I said again, the gentleman that I met at the NAACP convention, I'm hoping that he would help. Then I'm also hoping that this woman that spoke to me from a whole other private gig that I have, that can help me also as well. So 2 outlets right now that I have, and I'm really hoping that they would pull through. So I got my fingers crossed, and I am praying for that. I have a copy of the same thing, and my probation officer told me that I have the 3 years and 12 months, and that they did not send up the rest of my paperwork for my probation stipulations. So I'm also hoping that those felony charges get off of my case because they didn't send that paperwork up. Mind you, it's about to be 3 months on the 11th that I've been out. And the fact that they still didn't send up the other paperwork from Georgia, it's like they're dropping the ball. Y'all, Jones County is making it worse on themselves. Bad enough, because as soon as I get an attorney or lawyer, y'all have no idea how much I feel it in my spirit. Like, all of this stuff is going to go away, because that's all I need. I need all of this stuff to go away. All right? Now, also, I have found out that with the transfer bond, the bondsman pretty much ran off on the money, on the bail's bonds money. Now, it's 2023, and I understand money make the world go round and stuff like that. But in this situation, it's like I got too many people trying to run off on the money. I don't know what it is or what's going on. I ain't rich. I don't know why it make it come off like I got a lot of money, because I don't. So I don't know. Like, I really work hard to get, to provide for myself and to have money in my pocket. So when I feel like my money is being sucked up and don't know why, it's like it bothers my whole head. It bothers me to the core, because I'm trying to understand, like, where my money go. My money could be going to something else a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, that understandable where my money is going. But when I don't understand where my money is going, it just bothers me. So with all this money that I spent on this case and probation fees and stuff like that, it's like, look, for the probation, right? Where is it? I have $1,542.20. And I read it in the other part of the different stuff. So they have a calculator for the fines and fees for the Georgia Superior Court Clerks Cooperative Authority, right? And they never told me when I was supposed to make these payment dates and how much I'm supposed to pay a month. They never told me none of that. But they did tell me that if I miss a payment, that I could be scooped back up and brought right back to Jones County Jail. They didn't forget to tell me that. They made sure to let me know that. But when it came down to why do I have my probation fees is so high, like why do I have to pay $1,500? They didn't have an answer. But for on the probation sheet, it has a breakdown of where the money is going. So I said it in the last one, but I gotta say it again so y'all can understand. So I got the details for the payment schedule for me. The base fine was $750. I don't know what the base fine is. If you do know, definitely comment and let me know. I got the restitution, court costs, additional surcharges, POAB, which I don't know what that is, but that was about $75. Clerk retirement, sheriff retirement, brain and spinal injury, county jail fund, POPIDF/A. And I don't even know what that is, but it was about $50. Then you got the POPIDFB, and that was $75. Then you got the LVAP, and that was $37.50. The law library, the CVEF, the DATE fund, DATE fund, Safe Harbor Fund, which was $375, crime lab fee, the IDAF, which is another $50, driver education and training fund, and the publication fee. That made the total due of $1,542.50 for the payment schedule for my probation. Now I paid it, but I should have looked like, what is all these other extra surcharges and fees and taxes? When I asked the woman in Georgia who I was paying the probation fees to, she said she had no idea what those are for. That's on everybody's probation fees. And I'm like, it can't be. Because there's people that have probation fees that's like $100 and $75. You're still trying to tell me it's this big list right here of all these extra stuff that you're paying for, fees. I'm paying for the clerk retirement and the sheriff retirement. So the money to my probation fee goes to that too? I'm confused. Very confusing. So I'm really hoping to speak to a lawyer and attorney about that, because it's like, those are the questions that I have. I'm trying to figure out, what is this extra stuff on the paperwork? What is this? What does that mean? I also told you guys one thing that I cannot do for my probation is travel, unless it's for a DJ gig or family. And the only family right now that I've been trying to focus on is my mom's that's down there in Georgia, because I'm not able to just get up and go down in Georgia and make sure that she's good. I am trying to get her to move up here. So if you guys have any resources about that, of any housing authorities for older folks, definitely send that along as well. My Fourth Amendment was waived. That means I shall submit to a search of person, residence, papers, vehicle, and or effects at any time of day or night without a search warrant, whenever requested to do so by a community supervision officer or other law enforcement officer upon reasonable cause to believe that the defendant is in violation of probation or otherwise acting in violation of the law, and the defendant shall specifically consent to the use of anything seized as evidence in any judicial proceedings or trial. It's like, why do I have to do all of that too? That's extra. I've been trying to make sure that I'm definitely staying out of certain places, staying to myself, definitely. Just definitely trying to stay out of trouble, following the speed limit, making sure that I don't smoke. I plan on asking my probation, like, what about secondhand smoke? If you're in a room full of people who are smoking, usually when you smoke and you're in a room full of people who are smoking, you feel high, like you got higher, like, right? From the secondhand smoke, because there's so much smoke in the room. So my question is, if I'm not smoking and I'm in a room full of people who smoke, am I gonna catch a contact enough where it will make my urine test positive? Like, I've been on Google trying to figure it out. Like, I really wanted to know these things, so it's one of the questions that I'm gonna ask my probation officer, because it's like, I'm curious to know. I have a few gigs coming up, and it's like, man, I gotta ask my probation officer if I can even do it. Shout out, I got people that's doing some out of state stuff, and it's like, I can't even go last minute. You can't just up and go. I can't. I have to fill out like a 4-page paper of letting my probation officer know where I'm going to be, who I'm going to be with, where I'm staying, all of this extra. It's not extra, but probation stuff that you're supposed to do. When you're on probation, that's it. You're just owned by the government at this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's it. You're just owned by the government at this point. Don't let nobody tell you any different. I don't care if you're on an ankle bracelet or not. Once you're on probation and the city has to know what you're doing, your whereabouts, where you're going, and checking in, that's it. You are owned. You are owned, and that's exactly how I feel. Just owned. Can't do nothing because I feel owned. I gotta contact people to get in touch with them. So it's been tough. Like I said again, it's been really, really tough. The last time I was looking for an attorney when I was incarcerated, the retainer fee was about $7,000 to $10,000 for a lawyer. Excuse me, for a lawyer, it was about $7,000 to $10,000 was the range just to even have somebody even look at my case or even speak to me, and that was just a flat fee. Basically, he was looking to file and have a discovery. And that's pulling up evidence to show that the reason for their case is the way that it was, because if I ask for discovery, I can get all of that evidence, get phone calls, get all of that. A motion to suppress, all of those things. Then I had one gentleman that was going to take my case. His name is John Newberry from Georgia. He was charging about $3,500, especially for some outside surrounding counties as well. So it's like, I have reached out to some people and some lawyers and attorneys, but it's like the payment is extremely high. I don't want to do a GoFundMe again. The payments are extremely high, or we just don't have the right information altogether. So if you do have any information on any kind of lawyers or attorneys, or about fees, broker fees, booking fees, looking fees, all of those type of fees, definitely shoot them a message and tell them to shoot me a message and reach out to me, or you can send the message or their information and I will reach out to them. Okay. I definitely been letting folks know again that I was arrested on the 19th of April and released in the second time May 11th, and didn't get my fingerprints fully booked until May 5th. So even for the time that I've been in there, it was unlawful. For the people who are there where they stay, it's unlawful. They're not even supposed to be doing any of that either. So I just want to try to fight it as much as I can. But I definitely came up on here, like I said again, just to give you guys a brief, update about what was going on. And I'm hoping that I get good news. If I do get good news or not, I still am going to continuously, let you guys know what's going on, because I've really realized that a lot of people do care. They are supporting me. They are looking forward to the stories. They are looking forward for the updates to know what's going on. And unfortunately, it's like, I know I've been really busy. I've been stuck in my mind, but I have been trying to stay on top of things and trying to get everybody, on one accord about what's going on. I'm in a different mindset with me not smoking. It's been messing with my head mentally, like I told y'all again. So it's like I'm overthinking. The anxiety's through the roof. It's just headaches. It's a lot of stuff going on. But I am trying to push through. I do appreciate everybody who reaches out. I appreciate everyone who's been trying to contact me in any way that they can. I appreciate folks who have been trying to hire me and put money in my pocket to keep me afloat, keep me in a steady hand. I am still looking for employment. It's tough because with the felony and it being a new case, a lot of jobs really don't want to deal with that at all, especially what my case is about. So unfortunately, I still am unemployed. I am still just DJing, trying to DJ full time as much as I can. So if you know anyone who needs a DJ or host, or if your child wants to learn how to DJ, you can definitely let me know the info. I can do private lessons with them as well. But I am trying to do as much as I can. So I do appreciate everyone who has been trying to help, who's been just considerate enough to check in to see how I'm doing, or giving me props and stuff like that. I really do appreciate it. I do feel welcome home a lot of times when I go out to events. You see me dancing and with a smile on my face, because I am very, very grateful and thankful to be home, and I'm trying to make the best out of the situation. The situation does suck. I am trying to get used to some things, but not used to some things, because it's like, this is a tough thing to try to be like, oh, I can get used to it. No, it's not one of those things I even want to get used to. But just to try to keep, a nice level head about it, I am trying to add a little humor to it. Y'all see me going outside. Been trying to keep my mind occupied and keep myself busy, but also not trying to, spend too much money, because it is expensive. It's expensive to live. The cost of living out here did shoot up in the price, so that's been a little bit tough. But there has been different outlets and resources that folks have been giving me, different housing authorities and stuff like that, to try to sign up for, to try to maintain and try to have a stable life and still be on this probation. And like I say, not it trying to get too much in my head mentally and emotionally, but it is tough. So once again, like I said again, I'm thank you everyone who do reach out, everyone who does try to check in real quick and see what's going on with me. It's tough. The toughest thing is when I'm in the club and y'all are like, I thought you left. What happened? You back? I thought you left. Like, let's talk about this another time. Or how about you can just say it in a different way, like welcome home, or when you get a chance, let's chop it up. I didn't know you were home. Like stuff like that. Now, you back? You back again? Like, yeah, I'm back. I'm home. I am home, and I am trying to be on any and everything that I could be, trying to get my face out there more. The more that I get my face out there, the more that I can promote my YouTube, the more I can promote this story and get it out there. So yes, I am home. I appreciate it. I love Spark FM and everything that they've been doing for me. House the Boss, Tony, Triz, Y Sham, the whole family, the whole squad. Like I said again, Miss J, everybody who's been really trying to help me stay afloat and stay on top. I really appreciate it. So, I don't break down and lose it. Make sure that you definitely follow my Instagram at Team DJ Live 2.0, and follow my YouTube at Team DJ Live as well. If you wanted to listen to part 1, part 2, and part 3. Once again, I really, really appreciate everyone who tunes in and really shares my videos and really tries to help any way that they can. You can always tune into the morning show, 617-272-3387. Just with updates that's going on in the community. And remember, Spark FM is that outlet. It's been the best outlet. You can drive through the city and look up on the advertisement and the billboards, and you'll see us there. We have Spark the Block coming up in September 3rd. So we really hope that folks, go online, be a part of our mailing list, be updated with the things and events that we have going on. And like I said again, that's my family. It's like one big family, and I really appreciate all the people that are in my life, in my circle. For those who are being weird about it, don't want to have conversations, don't want to talk, don't want to do none of that, that's okay. There's no love lost. For those who feel like if I haven't responded back to a message that you sent me, send it again. please send it again. My mind is, like I said again, on a million trillion things. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm not avoiding anybody. I am trying to reach out, just talk, be a part of the community more, hang out with other people more. If I've never hung out with you before, I am trying to, do some different type of connections because, life is too short. And like I said again, I'm hoping that I can get all the help that I can and get the resources that I can and try to network with a lot of people, affiliates, and stuff like that to still, feel like all hope is not done. So I'm definitely going to let you guys know and give you an update about what's going on after I speak to my probation officer this week. This is the week that I get to see my probation officer, get an update of what's going on, if I have to go to court, if I have to go before the judge, or anything regarding my probation sorry. And y'all just continue to just pray for me, poke your head in, jump in my inbox, and I'm not afraid. Like, if you want to have a conversation, chat, if you know somebody that's going through the same struggle or the situation, definitely let me know. Because like I said again, if we stay united, we can definitely accomplish a lot of things together as a whole, as people of color, just women in general, people in the LGBT community, as a whole. So once again, I do appreciate everybody has been tuning in. Make sure that you follow me, and definitely tune in to the next show, so that way we can definitely so I can let you guys know what's going on. It's I appreciate everyone again. I really do appreciate it. It's tough. I'll be like, it's not saying it's hard to say thank you. It's just, just different situations. I wouldn't think that I would even be sharing my story or just having a conversation about what's going on. So this is different for me. It's new for me, but I'm trying to, get used to it and deal with it. So I really, really appreciate everyone. Shout out to Dre Robinson. That's my merch that I got on today. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. And yes, please stay tuned for the next part. And so that way I can give you guys an update and maybe I add a little bit of story. Maybe I didn't tell you guys too much about the things that I learned in there, like how to do eyebrows. I learned how to thread in there. I learned how to cook in there. Like I said again, and the little tricks and stuff that I learned, and I'm never gonna forget, and I still do it. Still do certain things. So it's kind of hard to get out of that type of mindset, no matter how long it's been. But yeah. So I thank you all, and make sure that you tune in. Team Djlive, free live campaign still going. Free live shirts. Y'all can catch me on the road for Carnival. Be giving out some stuff. All right. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Turn up.
Friday, August 4th. YumbaMarket.com and SmartFMOnline.com. New king of crunk. Memphis' own. Deuce. Live for one night only.
Hey, it's the King of Crunk, Duke Deuce, man. New England, Boston, the Cameras. I will be performing live, man. August 4th at the Middle East.
Also performing live, Key, J-Band, Randy Blaze, Why Try and Use. Hosted by Scooby Al. Music by